throughout this time period, and his lawyers called it a witch hunt. I think the term will stay in vogue because that's exactly what the media is going to say, is investigating the investigators. Basically, the Obama administration, they're going to call that a witch hunt, and I think that we'll get still very skewed coverage of it. And Don DeBar is absolutely right. People are not interested in this story. They're being forced to listen to it and to get involved in this political battle that the Democrats have against this duly elected president. So, Alexander, I mean, the media and the Democrats, they don't want the other shoe to drop. They don't want the investigators to be investigated. That's the only part of this whole tragedy that I am interested in, because all of us on this program found this hoax to be ridiculous from the get-go. Go ahead, in London.
Well, indeed, and I mean, Don is absolutely right about this, because, of course, so many of the things that I would judge important are not actually in the report. I mean, to give you an example, Christopher Steele and his famous dossier, which played such a big role in so many of the media stories back in 2017, and which was used to obtain the FISA warrants on Carter Page, it's barely mentioned. I mean, you don't have an admission, for example, that this report played any role at all in triggering the investigation, and that it's been unverified. So it's as if it didn't exist. And all the many of the sort of catalogue of characters that were involved in investigating this report in some tangential way, they're not mentioned either. So that, of course, we need to see a proper investigation into how this whole thing took off in the way that it did, leading to a report, a 422-page report, after, I mean, must be tens of thousands of hours of investigations, millions of dollars, the entire political system of the United States paralyzed, foreign policy held hostage, Russian-American relations brought to crisis, all to achieve nothing. Nothing, because there was nothing there. And that really ought to be something people should look into. And, of course, you're absolutely right, the media will oppose it ferociously. And I predict that the witch hunt allegation will now switch to the other side, though with far less justice, because there's no doubt at all that certain very unattractive things happen.
You know, Don, I watched